sports. Tonight we step between the ropes. Fort Knox on the edge of the Dandenong Ranges on the outskirts of Melbourne. I'm Andy Raymond, and tonight we remember one of the good guys. It is the Mick Canavan Memorial Night, and it features a 7-fight card with some of Australia's most exciting young talent. Let's take a look at what's on your boxing menu tonight. And firstly, it's an international bout over 4 threes at catchweight. It's Kiwi Bruce Glozier and Queenslander Nick Sividis Jr. A huge difference in experience, but a promising bout to kick us off. Next, we drop down in weight. It's the tough Dennapa Bigshotcamp and local boy Faisal Fayad. Once again, we're scheduled for 12 minutes of action. Number 3 for the night is the big boys with the big bang. The heavyweights are in town. They are on limited time. It's big Kiwi Ben Martotia and Adam Forsyth. Back down to that 76.2 kilo limit at super middleweight, and it's Tim Rolfe and Joey D'Angelo, who tonight is making his debut. It's the last of our 4-rounders, this one. The unbeaten Susie Ramadan takes on Edith Smith for the Australian junior featherweight title. Now, contrasting styles here, that normally lends itself to producing a quality contest. It is over 8 rounds. Our semi-main event of the evening pits the durable William Hadlow and Namibian Johannes Mwetupanga. I think we got it right. Hadlow doesn't have a great record. He does, though, always come to fight. If we do go to the judges, it will be after 24 minutes. Our main event, Tia Kaswara from Indonesia, in fact ranked 6th in the OPBF, faces the unbeaten former Nigerian who now bases himself here in Melbourne. I speak of Oyewole Omatoso. This is a catchweight. It's a matchup I'm looking forward to.
Would you welcome from Auckland one of our great visitors. He's a fighter, trainer, manager, Bruce Glozier from Auckland. Come on down, Bruce. 77.1. Beautifully matched there, Murray Thompson. Nick, it's almost like coming back to your old city of Melbourne. Your dad, Nick Senior, were you actually born in Williamstown?
Yeah, I was born in Williamstown Hospital,
yeah.
So.
Nick, you're telling me before the official weigh-in tonight at the Manhattan that you've deferred your studies. Is that because of a boxing career?
Yeah, boxing career, and just, I'm young, I want to have a bit of fun, so it's not going anywhere, the studies, they're just going to sit there at the uni, so yeah, probably go back to it.
Good stuff. Now, Bruce Glozier, he's a warrior. I mean, he's a mature man. He's 38 years of age, so you give away a bit of age, but you've got height on your side. How do you see this opening bout going on Fox Sports tomorrow night?
I mean, I always give up weight and age. That's just something I always do. I mean, I'm just going in there to do my best, and I'll come out a winner. I'll get no self-doubt.
Congratulations, Nick, and good luck.
And we are going to start it off with a bout that was originally scheduled for super middleweight, but Brucey Glozier, Barry, is weighed in just a little on the heavier side at 77.1 kilos. So we're calling it at catchweight. So we have a look at the tail of the tape, and well, to put it bluntly, Bruce Glozier is old enough to be Nick Sividis Jr.'s father.
Yeah, Bruce has been going around for quite a long time. He just loves to get in there and compete. But this guy we've got on screen at the moment, Nicholas Sividis Jr., I'm a little bit familiar with him because his father was actually a neighbour of mine as I was growing up in Williamstown, and his father, Nick Senior, to this day swears black and blue that he gave me my first set of boxing gloves ever when I was about 8 or 9, and it is a possibility because I did actually used to spar with all the local kids when I was a very young lad, but I know a little bit about young Nick Sividis. He's a southpaw, and yeah, this should be quite an entertaining bout for the opener of the night.
This is Nick Sividis Jr. from Williamstown. He now lives on the Gold Coast.
Had a good amateur career. I think he was an Australian amateur champion, but Bruce Glozier, who he's up against, has certainly been around a few rings.
2 wins, the 1 loss and the 1 draw on the resume of young Nick Sividis Jr. A good mover, a left-hander, a southpaw if you like. And here is the pretty boy from South Auckland, New Zealand, from the tough streets. Self-trained, a the Auckland Boxing Association gym. Does not have a great record, but as a promoter's friend, made his debut just 5 years ago, almost 5 years, and has had, well, some 18 fights since. For the first time tonight, it is always our pleasure to head centre ring, the Golden Tonsils of Howard Lee.
Good evening to you, Andy Raymond and Barry Michael. Fox Sports, big-time boxing as at Fort Knox in Melbourne, southeastern suburbs on a very cold winter's night. The Mick Canavan Memorial Boxing Show, number 10, brought to you by Murray Thompson, Fighters Factory. We get underway with a 4-round catch weights match fight between Australia and New Zealand. Introducing first in the red corner on my left, trained by Les Wilson, born in Williamstown, Barry Michael territory in Victoria, now living in Robina on Queensland's beautiful Gold Coast. Works as a bartender after deferring his studies at Bond University. Ladies and gentlemen, at 72.20 kilograms in amateur boxing, he won 2 Queensland Junior amateur titles. In professional boxing, 4 bouts, 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Wearing blue trunks with, white trunks with blue trim, Greek colours, the Golden Greek, when you welcome Nick Sividis Jr. And across the ring in the blue corner with Russell Wolf in the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, 38 years young. Born and raised in South Auckland, 18 professional fights, 3 wins, 2 draws, 13 losses. Works at Sky City Casino in Auckland at 77.10 kilograms, wearing white trunks with black trim, fondly known as Pretty Boy, New Zealand's Bruce Glozier. Referee Chris Anderson, judges Anika Williams, Andrew Campbell and Joe Marr. Timekeeper of the bell, Damien Membry. Your ringside physician, Dr. John Jury. Here we go.
Okay, remember what we spoke about in the dressing room? Nice and clean, and protect yourself at all times.
Thank you.
Send me at all times, yeah? Good luck, boys.
A huge height and reach advantage in favour of Nick Sividis Jr. Is it going to be too much for Bruce Glozier to overcome tonight, Barry?
Yeah, it's not an easy ask for Bruce Glozier because Nick Sividis, I said he was an Australian amateur champion. I stand corrected. Twice Queensland amateur champion. Started off with a couple of nice sharp punches there. But yeah, Bruce Glozier is going to have to take it up to his taller, rangier southpaw opponent, who's snapping out that right jab very effectively in the opening seconds of the first round.
And he does so very effectively. Just the 4 professional bouts, no stoppages inside the distance. In fact, neither boxer has a stoppage victory. It would be something that Sividis would be looking to change here tonight.
Very nice sharp jab from Sividis.
Sividis in the white and blue piping. Nice combination shots that echoed around the basketball stadium here.
Glozier is looking to land the big punches, leaving himself a little bit open as he's rushing in, but he needs to hurt his southpaw opponent with that big right hand. He's trying the right tactics against his southpaw opponent in this opening minute or so.
And the nose has already been popped of Bruce Glozier. The boys are throwing them.
Bruce Glozier landed a beautiful right hand, right cross, left hook on Sividis there, jolting punches.
What are we checking of?
A blood nose. I can't believe it. It's possibly, I mean, you know, a blood nose in professional boxing. I mean, these things do happen regularly. But he's bleeding quite profusely from the nose, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. And he did land a couple of big bombs there.
Both guys showing a willingness to throw punches very early in this one, halfway through round number 1. We are only scheduled for 4.
Good opening round so far. Some good boxing from both boys. Sividis is landing some, the majority of the jabs, good right jab and a few left crosses, but got caught with a couple of big shots in the middle of the round there.
Feigning, then moving over the top there, Sividis. The face of Glozier already a crimson mask with 60 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Glozier, the heavier puncher of the two. He really did show some power. There it is again, that punching left hook.
Snap that left hook out, and very quickly as the second punch of his combination. And a little bit of respect shown by Nick Sividis Jr. here. He's tasted Glozier already.
Oh, wild punches there from Bruce Glozier as he's walking up.
.30 seconds remaining, opening round. Both men have illustrated a pretty good work rate.
They sure have. Bruce Glozier covered in blood, bleeding from the mouth and the nose. Sividis landing that snappy jab, punching and moving. Glozier looking to land the big bombs and has landed some bombs this round. The majority of the scoring punches, though, from Sividis.
It's not going to be a pretty fight. It's going to be willing.
Round 1.
End of round 1, 3 to go.
The tooth fairy come up with the presentation seat, over 51. Wow. That's Larissa from the men's category.
Don't touch it. What you're doing, he's playing with you. You've got to move up on him.
Thanks, Joe.
He's just
Thank you, Joe.
doing what he wants, and he's paid you to pick up on. He's just playing the way he's dancing with you. Where are you coming from now? No, we're in my mouth.
Let's take a look at some of the action from round number 1. There were some quality shots from both guys. A scoring round on the 10 points must system for mine to Nick Sividis Jr.
Yes, he landed the majority of the blows, but Glozier did land a couple of bombs, but he's got a nasty cut on the bridge of the nose, Bruce Glozier. Good right hand from Glozier. Good punches exchanged by both fighters.
Sividis, a very well balanced and very well structured young boxer, and he is young at just 19 years of age. Good height, good reach advantage.
Starting to gain confidence here.
Has got a good jab on him, and whilst early in his career doesn't seem comfortable with throwing the jab and comfortable in establishing that jab.
Yep. He's got a good kit of punches. He's you know, he uses the ring well.
The nose again flowing freely of Bruce Glozier.
Sividis actually, I think, probably wore a couple of the best shots that Glozier could muster in that first round, and weathered the power shots, and I think he's feeling a lot more confident here, especially with his opponent bleeding quite heavily from the nose and the mouth.
Tempo has certainly slowed. Round number 2. Glozier has fought now 11 times in Australia. The record isn't a good one, but he has been in with the likes of Kerry Palmer, Johnny Walker, Adam Vella and Daniel Gill. In fact, Johnny Walker drew here in Melbourne in the last fortnight on a show where Luke Maloney was also successful. It was against Sasaya Vaka.
Glozier looking for that one punch against his more, his faster, more agile opponent, his southpaw opponent. Snapping that jab out again.
Difficult too when you're looking for that left-hand hook as your initial shot, Barry, and your opponent is southpaw. As a result, the right hand is up, and it's almost an immediate blocking mechanism, as opposed to if you're looking for the left-hand shot on a right-handed boxer.
Yeah, for the orthodox fighter against the southpaw, he should be looking for the right-hand lead first, as his opponent jabs with the southpaw stance, which, for our viewers out there, means he's the left, or should be a left-hander, and leads with his right foot forward, leads with his right jab.
Yep.
And the best punch and the greatest exponent of how to fight a southpaw that I've ever seen was Koshkazu. And one of the greatest examples was when he knocked out Zab Judah. But
and it wasn't just a country that rejoiced then, it was almost the world of boxing when he knocked out Zab Judah.
It was awesome, it really was. Wild punching there from the Kiwi. Nick Sividis Jr. getting more and more confident here and taking control.
Both boys go back to the corners at the end of round number 2. In fact, is halfway home as we head into the red corner with Nick Sividis Jr. Assisting tonight, Nick Sr. and Leslie Wilson.
Going well. That's all I want you to do now. Just take your time and make it happen. Nothing wrong with putting the fight on.
I look the best, mate. That's all.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
I'll look smart.
That's what I want you to do. If you want it, especially Nick.
Take a look at some of the action from round number 2. Our opener on a certified card, the Canavan Memorial Night, edition number 10 from Fort Knox on this Friday, the 11th of July. Who is that? Nick Sividis Jr. and Glozier.
Seconds out, round 3.
Doing it at catch weight. Bruce Glozier weighed in Barry 77.1 kilos and Nick Sividis Jr. 72.2.
Big weight difference. You know, a hell of a lot of weight difference there. And Glozier not really carrying any extra weight, so he's in good condition. So you've got to give Nick Sividis Jr. credit because he's fighting, you know, a guy that's really in the next division. Nick Sividis getting very confident here. Needs to be a little bit cautious because Glozier has got some power.
Confident and comfortable, but not acting upon that, Barry, for mine. The latter part of the second round, I would never use the term lazy, but the work rate dropped off to an alarming rate. Was he tagged there?
He was tagged with a left hook, and he came back with a lovely left hand there. I think he's called it a slip. I'd like to see that on slow-mo, but Nick Sividis Jr. was caught by that left hook and lost balance and then fired straight back, and Bruce Glozier hit the deck. I'd like to actually see that in slow-mo. But yeah, some action in the opening minute of the third round here. There's that clubbing that took again of Glozier's.
Don't hold him like that.
Glozier, a great friend of many promoters around Australia, and trains, assists and also fights, and does a lot of work with New Zealand boxers that are brought over to compete against the local boys.
He does, and you know, like it's great to see the Glozier family. You know, that name's synonymous with boxing in New Zealand and Australia, and you know, it's great to see. And you know, the fight game needs guys like Bruce Glozier that are ready to, you know, take a fight at the drop of a hat. There's too many guys in the game these days that they get a broken fingernail and they pull out.
Minute 10 remaining, round number 3. It is Nick Sividis Jr. in the white and blue, in the white with the black trim, Bruce Glozier. Now Sividis Jr. made his debut against journeyman Paz Vayo up at the Magic Millions on a Jamie Meyer fight night on Fox Sports.
And you know, you've got to say Paz Vayo is another one of those guys. He was actually born in Melbourne, but he lives in New Zealand, and he fights anyone on the drop of a hat, and he makes real good fighters look ordinary.
Little salute to the crowd from Brucey Glozier there. Just a few moments ago as we move into the final stages of round number 3.
Bruce Glozier looking for that bomb.
Temple shot there, yeah.
He's certainly got power.
You're slapping a bit, yes?
Yeah, Chris Anderson warning him for slapping. It possibly wasn't with the inside of the glove, but a clubbing left hook there.
You're still slapping. Hey, I'll have to give you a proper warning. You're slapping with that left hand. Don't do it. Box.
Again, a warning from referee Chris Anderson, saying that he's using the inside of the glove.
Bell sounds to end round number 3, and after a very entertaining opening 3-minute period, the last 2 rounds I think probably best be described as quiet is a nice way of putting it.
Let's hope we might get over in Bruce Glozier's corner now. Corner man wiping away a lot of blood, but let's hope we can have a look at that encounter where they both, one was hurt and the other one went over. There's that left hook. No, that's not the one. There's another one after that. Here it is. No, it was a slip.
Yeah, it was a slip, as it turned out.
Yeah.
That was the second one, a little later on in the round.
No, that's not the one.
And they're the clubbing shots or slapping shots, yes, the referee has signified.
Pretty, what's the word? Pretty unorthodox in a way.
Fourth and final round here at Catchweight to kick us off.
The punch that's the winning punch in this fight, for my money, is the right jab of Nick Sividis. It's, and, you know, the jab is where you develop everything from the jab, and the southpaw jab, I think, you know, has landed the majority of the scoring points in this fight so far.
Some good upper body movement being shown by Nick Sividis Jr. Almost looked like he had a case of the wobbly legs there, but he was just defensively awkward, I think is the way we put it.
Fair enough. Quite often, you know, when you see a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, it doesn't end up too attractive. You know, I myself always found southpaws, especially early in my career, difficult to fight. You know, once you master the style to fight them, that, you know, it's actually not so bad, but they can make you look ordinary.
I've never been in a fight long enough to figure out if they're right-handed or left-handed.
Fair enough.
From my position looking up. Just under 2 minutes remaining, round number 4. Massive weekend of sport yet again on Fox Sports, AFL, NRL. We've got the whole thing covered. Another fabulous Friday to kick it all off.
Glozier continuing to walk up, looking for the big one.
Just trying to put a combination or a few combinations together here, Nick Sividis Jr., and what he's doing, he's not loading up as he was in round number 1. As a result, his body movement is far more fluent. His punches inevitably far more precise, scoring, moving out of the way.
Making his opponent miss, as he did there. Needs to snap that jab more like he was in the first round. He was, right in the start of the first round, he was really snapping his jab.
Just under a minute, round number 4, our fourth and final round, a catchweight contest between Australia and New Zealand, if you like. Nick Sividis, it appears, is going to kick the Aussies off to a win here tonight. Glozier still in with what we call a puncher's chance. He's been outclassed, he's been outboxed, Barry, but he does have that power. His record suggests he doesn't have one punch power, but he does have that power.
He does. I mean, he can certainly whack a bit. And he's a solidly built man. And as we saw in the second round there, or the first round actually, I think was his best combination of right hand, left hook. But he's been trying to catch up with his southpaw opponent ever since. Who, while you know, at no stage I don't think Glozier's been hurt by the power of Sividis. He's been outpointed and outboxed.
Bell sounds, boys touch gloves, and race at the end of 12 minutes of work. And for mine, Nick Sividis Jr., a comfortable points decision winner here. Plenty coming away on this edition of Big Time Boxing. The main event a little bit later on at catchweight, very interesting. Tia Casuera up against
Brendan, have a dig, mate.
Amatoso.
All the boys at home, hello.
Yeah, we'll see some firework there. Amatoso, very heavy-handed fighter, and Tia Casuera will come to fight.
Of course, we saw Amatoso, I guess most recently on the Anthony Mundine Sam Solomon undercard, as we have a look at some of the action from the fourth and final round.
It was a nice short right hook, half hook, half jab. There's the jab again from southpaw Nick Sividis.
Now Murray Thompson, our promoter here tonight. I'm not sure if the Commonwealth Games staff are aware, but Murray's got the ring mat here.
Good point.
He's pulled it out of the shed, but he's pulled the wrong one.
2006 Commonwealth Games, which I called with Peter Landy, which was a pleasure. And yep, it's got the logo right in the middle of the ring there.
Good work, brother. Good work, Russ. Good work, brother.
Two boys seem pretty fresh, reasonably happy with what has just transpired. Nick perhaps more so. And it's a long wait, isn't it, Barry, until the judges' scorecard comes in and it's official. We have seen some strange ones over the years, you more so.
Oh, yeah, you know, even if you think you've won, you never know until you never know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority decision. Judge Anika Williams could not separate the two parts. She had it 38-38. Judge Andrew Campbell had it 39-37. Judge Joe Mann, 40-36. Your majority winner, red corner, Nick Sividis Jr.
A majority decision to Nick Sividis Jr. Barry, does the 38-38 surprise you?
Well, it depends how you see a fight, I guess, because, yeah, but, you know, I thought that Sividis deserved the decision, but Anika Williams, I think she probably took into account the heavier punching at times from Glozier and the fact that he was, you know, walking up trying to make the fight, but, yeah, you know, the right man got the decision.
Here is Dennapa Bigshotcamp. Trains out of the Tassanu stable.
I've got to say, this man, if he does what he did on the last show I saw him, he is one of the most comical fighters I've seen. He can take a punch and he does some very funny stuff.
Has fought in Australia on 9 occasions against top 10 rated Aussies, including Tommy Brown, Ranny Ganoy, Heath Ellis, Peter Matrevsky Jr.
It was the fight with Peter Matrevsky Jr. that he had the crowd in fits.
Mundine hand and undercard.
Unbelievable.
Still lives in Bangkok, Thailand. Going through the Thai ritual, if you like, and it doesn't matter if it's traditional kickboxing or Muay Thai. And there's a cheeky smile on the face. I wonder if the entry is going to be something special here.
Yeah, watch this, because if he does what I've seen him do before, it's something else. No,
he made it over and made it over successfully.
Yep.
Wasn't trying to imitate Paul Briggs from the Randwick RSL many years ago, and Briggsy very early in his professional career decided to jump into the ring over the top rope and caught a leg on the way through and ended up flat on his mush.
Well, that's what Dennapa Bigshotcamp did against Peter Matrevsky Jr., but it wasn't an accident. He actually put it on, and he really got up. He looked as though he'd injured his back. He was hilarious. I'm sure he'll show us some of that in this fight.
Faisal Fayad, fast and furious. Comes to the ring led by the crew from the Malvern Martial Arts Centre. Let's go up to Howard Lee.
Thank you, Andy Raymond. Back to centre ring, Murray Johnson, Mick Canavan, tribute show from Fort Knox. International Junior Middleweight Boxing, scheduled 4 rounds of boxing. Introducing first on my left, hailing from Bangkok, Thailand, part of the Tassanui stable with Russell Wolf and Maurice Shot in the corner. They call him Mr. Entertainment. 27 fights, 9 wins, 18 losses, 3 inside the distance. At 30 years of age, tipping the scales at 68 kilograms. Wearing trunks of pink, black and white. Would you welcome Thailand's Dennapa Bigshotcamp. And across the ring in the blue corner, from Bentley in Melbourne's southern suburbs. At 30 years of age, ladies and gentlemen, trained at the Malvern Martial Arts Centre by Special K, former world kickboxing champion Mick. This young fighter has come through amateur boxing and kickboxing to have 2 professional fight wins. He works as a contractor at City Power. Don't blacken those lights. At 68.80 kilograms, white trunks with black. Would you welcome Fast and Furious, Faisal Fayad. Referee Tony Moreno. Judges Andrew Campbell, Joe Mann and Anika Williams. 4 rounds of boxing. Here we go.
Guys, I gave him instructions in the dressing room before, okay? Obey my instructions at all times, okay? Back your corners and come out on the bell. Good luck. Back your corners.
Mick Carra, special K, a kickboxer of note in the corner of Faisal Fayad tonight. The chief instructor with Fast and Furious, the Malvern Martial Arts Centre.
And also, Sam Solomon was in the corner there for the introductions, which is interesting to see. All I know about Faisal Fayad, he fought Pat Ruillo, who's I'm pretty familiar with, twice in the amateurs, and they said they were very, very tough, hard bouts, and that he's a real good prospect, this boy.
30 years of age, so he is a late starter. Just the 2 fights. One in March last year, one in December of last year, so also, Barry, a long time between.
Yep. Inactivities can certainly bring you undone here. He's walking up, attacking Dennapa Bigshotcamp in the opening minute here. Been wild with quite a few of his shots at this stage. But Bigshotcamp, pretty cool under pressure. I've seen him, well, Peter Matreski certainly hit him with everything but the corners to stool, and he took it all.
We've got him recorded as 27 bouts so far, and realistically we assume, despite our best efforts, that record is incomplete.
Yep.
We'd like to thank once again Tony Nobbs, who is the official Fox Sports statistician and analyst, who assist us with our bios of all of the guys, each and every big-time boxing.
Fayad hurting Bigshotcamp to the body. Some vicious body shots coming in from both hands, especially the right to the side of the left side of Bigshotcamp's body, and he's hanging on there. Didn't like those body shots. Good right hand back from Dennapa Bigshotcamp. Good short right.
Was a nice right hand, and it got him out of trouble.
Yep.
And just put Fayad on the back foot, albeit temporarily. Push called there, Barry.
Yeah, I think he was just more off balance. I don't think it was necessarily a deliberate push. He was just going back to the corner and lost his balance. Oh, that was a nice shot. Bigshotcamp nods his head, says do it again, but yeah, big punches here.
Dennapa, you never know about, there is no change of expression on the face, there's no change in tempo.
Actually, the more he gets hit, the more he smiles.
Go figure.
But Fayad having a dominant opening round at this stage.
Hands of Fayad just mine a little low.
The back of the head, okay, what's the back of the head? Box!
Tony Moretta, referee Tony Moretta warning Fayad for hitting beyond the back of the head, but I think it's just when you're throwing looping punches, if your opponent puts his head inside him, he can get hit to the back of the head. I don't think it was necessarily deliberate from Fayad. Good body shot again.
Yeah, little body rip there from Fayad to end the opening round. Both men very composed as they head back to their corners. And we will go into the corner with Mick Carra.
Okay, couple things, right? First one is, don't try so hard to knock this guy out. No. Let it happen. Oh, no. Get really nice snappy with your punches. 2, every time you lunge on it, he's ducking. Don't punch to the head, set it up, when he's ducking, punch to the chest, you'll hit his head. Simple. 3, get him up against, you got to step up, you got to be first though. Okay, you got to be first. Right?
A few of the highlights from the opening round. That was around, I thought Fayad dominated, Barry.
Oh, Fayad definitely dominated the first round. Bigshotcamp did have a little bit of success with the short right hand and a few counters, but he was under pressure most of the round and took a lot of heavy body shots. I mean, Bigshotcamp's record is not good, but I've seen that he's definitely durable.
Nice doubling up there from man that called Fast and Furious. And he has been fast and furious after the past 10 months because his wife Renee is due in 5 weeks' time.
Okay, we'll certainly be busy after that. If his wife has the baby, it certainly changed your life, but it's a wonderful thing. But he's certainly in control here. Faisal Fayad. A little bit wild with his shots. He needs to shorten them up a little bit, but body punches exceptionally well.
Jeez, he's got some power for an inexperienced light middleweight.
Those body shots are fantastic. Those body shots are really powerful body shots.
Gee, that was dangerous there from Fayad, stepping out of an offensive position and turning to the referee when there was no instruction given. He was doing it out of common courtesy, so sportsmanship has to be commended, but gee, that's dangerous.
If he had got nailed there, it would have just been, you know, bad luck. But Bigshotcamp on the defensive the majority of the time, having a bit of a crack then, but the body shots, he's feeling the pain from those body shots.
As a result, the hands are increasingly low from Dennapa Bigshotcamp, and as a result, the target zone there opened up for Faisal Fayad. Second round once again scheduled for 4. Light middleweight here, 69.85 kilos or 154 pounds if you like.
Bigshotcamp hasn't got the firepower to keep Fayad off. He's got pinned against the ropes, weathering quite a great deal of punishment. Really, when I look at Dennapa Bigshotcamp, I mean, he's putting him counting. I don't agree with that. I don't know where that comes from.
Come out.
Yeah.
7.
I think you'd have to hit him with the corner stool to do much damage to him, but he definitely wasn't wobbled there. And, you know, Tony's a mate of mine and a good referee, but I don't think an 8 count was warranted there.
Did a shot sneak through there that we were unaware of from our commentary position? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. I'll tell you, it surprised everyone, including Dennapa Bigshotcamp, I think.
Final seconds of round number 2, a round where there's been a standing 8 count. Again, just a little long in the punch, if you like, for
big punch.
Fayad. That is nice, though, from Fayad. He shortened his punches. They were more accurate shots. They were more telling shots as a result. A very good round for Faisal Fayad.
Yeah, Bigshotcamp under a lot of pressure at the end of the round there, but I didn't see an 8 count was warranted at any stage there, really.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the action here, and there was plenty of it over the course of the 3-minute. Now, this is where Fayad walks away. Very dangerous because our referee had not said boo.
No. That was right at the end of the round there. He weathered some big shots there, and he still the 8 count wouldn't have been warranted there, and it definitely wasn't warranted earlier.
Asking the corners to move. That they do, and we move on with proceedings. This is round number 3 coming your way. Round 3 of 4.
I'll tell you, Bigshotcamp, he's, you know, he hasn't got fast hands. He's not a heavy puncher, but he's an entertainer, and he's durable. He's a good sport as well. You know, I mean, he takes his losses with grace, and I've seen him stand up under a lot of punishment and still be firing back at the end. Look,
he's a genuine fighter too tonight.
Look at this.
Heads out, and he's saying, okay, tee off all you like.
Yeah, and landed a good right hand as well.
Step back. Okay, right. Hit the corner. Time. Hit the corner. See what's wrong. You okay? What's wrong?
He's complaining about his guard having moved position now.
That's one I haven't seen before.
Is he asking for help here? Because he's not going to get any, not down here at Fort Knox.
Maybe he needs a bit of adjustment, Andy. I don't know.
I'm not adjusting anything.
I really don't know what that's all about, to be honest. Because, you know, these protectors are pretty, well, they're pretty protective. And he didn't get hit low. Just a strange interruption there. That's a different one. But up at that stage, they were swapping bombs. And you didn't see that on screen, but here we go again. He's back into it. I think he just wanted a break. I think he was just doing a bit of showing off.
Good right hand from Fayad again, and the two guys go to war. Still 2 minutes left in round number 3.
Yeah, Fayad landing the big punches here. He could end up putting